Yes, folks, we're back. You missed it.
Right, we're back.
We're back, sports fans. That's right, guys. The First Family of Vegas show is back and better than ever. Every weekday, we're going to be coming to you on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, joined by some of the world's best documented handicappers and biggest sports bettors. Brought to you by the best website on the planet, SportsMemo. We will be releasing a ton of free pick winners, great betting insights, and have a few laughs to boot. So join us each day so we can improve your bankroll. We have a great show for you today and a panel of very special guests. I said yesterday's panel was like the Yankees 27 murderers row. God, this is a panel of heavy hitters. Guys, I want to tell you, if you're a boxing fan in the 70s and early 80s, 70s particularly, it was probably any one of 20 heavyweights would have been a champion in any era. This show today, guys, is just like that. Let me bring this good-looking bunch aboard. We got the Jersey Wise guy, Sean Higgs, Jesse, the Body Schule, and Dan, the Professor Kaiser. Good morning, guys. How is everybody?
Doing good, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Guys, Dan's been with us a while. Jesse everywhere. He's like, he's like a bad penny. He is everywhere. Man, he's like, you know what? He's like Samuel L. Jackson.
I was just thinking that, but
there was a joke in the movie. You know who Samuel Jackson? He's that guy in every movie. Jesse's everywhere, but when you're good, guys, you're the man. Speaking of good, I'd like to welcome, Sean and I has been friends for, I don't know, since we both had hair. I could say that now. Sean and I have been friends for many years. We've done a lot of shows together. Over here at SportsMemo, we're really honored and excited to have Sean with us. Sean, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, listen, familiar faces amongst each other here. We all know each other, worked together before. So new to the Memo team here, the Sports Memo team, but excited. It's a new site, new place for people to get to know me. And,
glad you're here.
Long time doing this with you guys. You know that. We're 20 years plus doing this stuff.
I mean, I think me and you did shows as way back as 15 years ago. I know when I had the CBS show, you were a regular on that show. We've done a lot of other shows. I personally like that you're here because not only do you bring an excitement to Sports Memo, but now everybody can't just say I'm the loudest guy in the room anymore because you're excited, you're good. No, we've got that banter. When Sean used to be on my radio show, I used to say, guys, when other guests were on the show, it's okay, you could raise the volume now on your tablet, computer, phone, or radio, whatever. And when Sean's, I say lower it back down, keep it low because my buddy Sean, he's back east, guys. Sean, for those people, I don't know anybody that follows sports or sports betting that isn't aware of Sean Higgs, but you're a Jersey guy, correct? Originally,
absolutely.
And now you live.
I've relocated to Texas. Relocated.
You're one of the few back east guys that moved out to Texas that's still alive. They don't take kindly to us down there.
Nah, they don't. I tell people I'm from El Paso down here, but then when you start talking, Joe, you know what it is. It comes out of us. They're like, "What?" No, listen. It's different, but it's really nice down here. I love it.
I'm glad.
As opposed to being the loud guy and reeling you in. That's how we got Jesse here. I was doing shows with Jesse, and Jesse always had to kind of reel in my loudness. So we got a good mediator. We got a good ref in between us here.
We've got great people here. Speaking of the body, Jesse, how you doing today, handsome?
Well, let me tell you, Joe, I think you're a fan of 80s movies. I know Sean's a fan of 80s movies. And when I was a kid, one of my favorites was a Stephen King movie called Stand By Me with Corey Feldman and River Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a little bit of a glimpse of how my day yesterday went. It was a complete and total barf-a-rama, like lard ass after he ate all those blueberry pies. I don't know if Sean gets that reference or if you do.
I got it. He drank the whole thing of castor oil before.
Yes.
That's right. I don't know what my excuse was. Like I said, it seemed like every game yesterday went under except for the ones I bet on.
Well, Jesse, I will tell you this. I had a crappy day. I'll tell everybody about it later. But when you win as much...
For the most part, I think most people did.
A lot of people had a tough day yesterday. I looked around quite a few of the sites and out there and on social media. Jesse, when you win as often as you do, I'm sure. And guys, I want you to know, you're looking at a panel of winners, documented winners, not just once or twice. I say it again. I said it before. I'll say it again. You could do something once or twice, you're lucky. Do it season in, season out, year in, year out for a decade, like guys on this show, the contributors to the show, and you're great. But Jesse, I'm sure that as much as you win, those losing days stick in your head. They really stick in your craw. I always said, I can remember, I can't remember every good date. I can't remember any dates now that I'm with Dionne 25 years. But now I can't remember every good date, but I can remember every bad date I've ever had. Yesterday, very technical term in the business, guys. I crapped the bed myself. But Jesse, the champion you are, the great capper you are, I'm sure you'll sweep the board today. Speaking of sweeping, I'd like to go over to the professor, Dan Kaiser. How are you today, Danny?
I'm doing good. I should have followed Jesse's advice yesterday and stayed away from college basketball tournaments because, like the rest of you, it was not a good day. I was actually thinking about maybe staying away today because either I brought bad luck to you guys or you brought it to me. I'm not sure.
Well, we can all turn. Listen, on the podcast. What was that, Sean?
I was gonna say it's funny because when we have like a bad run, like people are like, "Oh," someone messaged me on Twitter, like, "Oh," responded to my tweet, was like, I had a bad run last week too. Like it just seems not that we think alike are the same plays, but we could be on the same, not the same game, but just in the same area of how we think of what games we choose. So not that's reassuring. You don't want a losing day, especially when everybody loses around the same time. But it's more like, all right, you see how the groupthink is, why we kind of win together and we lose. It's we kind of think the same, and that's what kind of separates from when you see. Jesse knows, right? Dan knows, like the NFL, like you see everybody's like, "Oh, I had a great year," and you're thinking, "Well, my year was just okay." How and then you say, "Oh, okay, I see how the average person had a great, DraftKings has to reassess their bankroll because their earnings because of all the wins the public's getting on favorites." So, hey, we bet how we bet. Sometimes we have a rough day. It is what it is.
Two things I want to make a point of, and Sean made a great point. Number one, guys, you're looking at some of the best in the history of this business. And if we could have a bad day, give yourself a break because you could have a bad day. Because this isn't just what we do. This is who we are. I get up, we get up. This is what we do. This is, you see a cop, he gets off of his shift. He sees a crime. He's going to stop the crime because it's not just what he does. It's who he is. And this is who we are. All right. While most people are fast asleep in the beds, we're keeping hours like a meth cook, like Walter White. All right, we're up, we're working, we're doing it. I always say, you remember the old saying, the Army does more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. Guys in this business, with all respect to the Army, usually do more before 6 a.m. than the Army does all day. Now, I will tell you this. So when we have a bad day, we're twice as pissed off because not only did we lose for you guys, we lost our own bets. I walk it like I talk it. The people on the show bet their own games. We're not a general in the back going, "Go get them, guys, charge." We're staff sergeants in the mud, bleeding, sweating, getting shot. So on good days, we're twice as happy. Bad days, we're twice as pissed off. There is one more thing I want you guys to know. I try not to badmouth anybody, and I don't because I like to stay positive. But I saw someone on social media 2 days ago who was on a 42-0 run. All right? Never heard of him. Now, I want you to know something, guys. Whether you buy from me, Dionne, Dan, Jesse, or Sean, or some of the other great cappers here at Sports Memo, or not, all right, I want you to know when somebody tells you they've won 42 straight games, that's like me telling you I'm going to play center for the Lakers next season, okay? I lie. I tell people I'm 5'8". I can get on Sean's shoulders and I can't play center for the Lakers. So listen to me. Listen. With sometimes things are too good to be true. We've gone on runs where we won 18, 19, 20 games. But I'm going to tell you now, when you go 42-0 and you got these and you've never heard of somebody. So on bad days.
Yeah, but Joe, if we're going to go on Twitter and talk about that, and we're going to say, I won 18 in a row, we're not just going to go on Twitter and say that unless we're providing documentation, screenshots with published accounts and dates and other people signing off on it. We're not just going to say, by the way, I went 18-0 and nobody knows about it, but trust me, I did. That ain't going to fly.
No, absolutely. We've got a lot to go over today. Everybody's going to be giving out some free picks. But you know how I start every show. Let me just go into a little bit of fluff, and then we're going to bring everybody on. We got some free games. We'll keep everybody on, though. We have a great show. We know this. Couple quickies. First Family Show is on the YouTube channel. We want you to like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get a ding-a-ling-a-ling. Remember that Chuck Berry ding-a-ling-a-ling? You'll get a notice every time we come on. We're going to be coming on Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern, every week. We might have some other special shows, might do some other stuff, but we'd like you to subscribe here. We were a popular show when we were on the air regularly. We're glad we're back. We want to see we're getting things already. Hey, Joe, we love you. Look at that. By the way, it's a scam alert. No, I'm kidding. They're the only ones that check up on me now. I will tell you this. Subscribe now. Ring that bell. Don't miss the show. We do want to go on a personal note, Deanne and myself, right? Mm-hmm. One of our dogs, Dice, and as you know, we had Parlay, Teaser, and Jackpot all across the Rainbow Bridge over the last 10 or 11 years. Yes. Right now, we have Dice, Pygow, and Keno. Yes, they're all named after gambling. Dice, we was on the mend. He's not doing too good after the show. We're running him back to the vet. I don't really ask for personal stuff too often, except for some hair and some height. But I will tell you, if we get some prayers or positive vibes for Dice, man, he's not looking too good this morning. We're going to bring him in as soon as the surgeon, he's struggling. So prayers and positive vibes. Other than that, Uncle Cracker tomorrow night.
Yep, Uncle Cracker tomorrow night.
We had Janet Simpson. Janet Jackson a month ago. We had, guys, the Eagles at the Sphere. Sean, I know you're a big music lover. We've talked about this before. Go to the Sphere. It's a whole new experience. It's great. The Eagles were great.
Never seen before like that.
We've got Uncle Cracker tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Then we've got, what else we got going on?
Next week we have Paul Anka. Then we have Tom Jones.
Paul Anka
with Post Malone. Yeah. The Go-Go's.
These guys is Tom Jones and Paul Anka rolled out in an access cart? How old are those guys?
They're in their 80s.
We saw both, Sean, over the last 2 years. We saw Tom Jones twice. We saw Paul Anka once. I will tell you this. Even with these old timers, like we've seen Iggy Pop, who's like 80-something years old with a bad hip. He was stage diving. Peter Frampton, Elvis Costello. We saw Jeff Beck right before he passed. We were a little superstitious. That it was because of us that he passed. But we saw all these.
That's because like 3 or 4 concerts in a row, as soon as we seen them, someone from the band passed away. And we're like, maybe we should just stop seeing shows for a while.
But I will tell you this.
Iggy Pop's still alive. That just shows you drugs aren't bad for you.
No, I got to tell you. He can't walk, man. He walks like I don't know, like Earl Campbell.
He limps and then he was
stage diving. But they come on time. They come on stage on time. They play a couple of hours. They know their crowds. They give you a great show. It's great. The Eagles were great. We've got like Louis C.K. We're going to see Matt Rife, Michael Blaustein, Post Malone. Elvis Costello again.
And there's
they show up. Show up. But we do have some. Dionne wants to tell you. Then we're going to go right into some free plays. Dionne's got a big discount. You're going to see it across the screen. Dionne, tell everybody.
Yeah, so we also have an amazing discount going on right now. You can get 75% off any daily package through midnight on Friday. All you have to do is use code FF1 upon checkout. And that's good for any of the show guests that you see all week. And make sure you check that out.
You know, we all know that I'm just a touch long-winded. You guys don't have to laugh. But I want to get into some free plays today. We got some people that are playing in some of our games are going off a little bit earlier that you're going to be receiving here. And I will tell you, I had a bad day. I'll tell everybody about it later. Mm-hmm. But I want you to know somebody who did mention that he had an off day yesterday, has very few off days. Jesse, the Hitman, the Iceman cometh. Jesse Schule, he's going to tell you what he has been doing, what he's got posted on the premium side, and he's got a free play for everybody. Jesse, the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. Yesterday was a complete and total barfarama, but the last time I tossed up an air ball, I swept the following day, and we'll be looking to do that again today. But we're going to have a look at a big game in the Big East, probably the biggest game in the Big East in this tournament. I know a lot of people like Marquette, but I actually think the winner of Villanova UConn could go on to win the tournament here. I guess St. John's will have something to say about that. But we're going to look at the total for Villanova UConn. This one opened at 137. It's been bet down. It's all the way down to 134.5. This one is being bet down for a reason, let me tell you. These two teams played twice during the regular season. They went under in both of those games. They've gone under in 5 straight head-to-head meetings. They've gone under in 7 of the last 10 head-to-head meetings. And both these teams play at a snail's pace. Villanova ranks 360th nationally. That's not quite last, but it's damn close. In pace of play, they average just 65.3 possessions per game. And UConn, not much faster. They rank 269th. They're averaging 67.8 possessions per game. And when you get two teams that play at that kind of pace and they're content to play that kind of style when they're facing off against each other, it's very difficult for either of these two teams to score 70 points. And if neither team scores 70 points, we're most likely going to go under that number of 134.5. I counted up the games yesterday, and 34 teams failed to score 70 points on yesterday's card. Again, I don't think either of these teams are getting to 70 in this game. We're going to go under 134.5, Joe.
Jesse the Body, Schule, Jesse the Iceman says under Villanova, UConn. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, whatever he's got on the premium side today, I'm going to buy. Jesse, can you do me a favor real quick? Do everybody out there a favor. Tell everybody what you got posted on the premium side today, please.
Well, Joe, I got to take my time. I got to gather in all the intel. I'm going to look at the NBA card, and I think I jumped the gun a little bit yesterday. I got to be a little bit more careful about the injury report. So I have yet to finalize my premium card, but stay posted. That'll be up probably within the hour.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now. Go over to SportsMemo. Go follow Jesse Schule. You're going to follow him to the bank. You see his buzz link there. It's sm.buzz/JS. He's a winner. You will be too if you follow him. I want to talk about my good buddy, Sean Higgs, the Jersey wise guy now in Texas. You know he's got to be tough if a Jersey guy moves to Texas. Guys, Sean and I have done a lot of stuff over the years, and I want to tell you, he is one of the best in the history of this business. Not only is he one of the best, he's one of the best people in this business.
Let's leave it at that. I'm a good person. Don't talk about the record. They'll come back and haunt me if I'm doing good. Stop it. We don't do that. Jesse knows better.
I do want to tell you.
I do not pat myself on the back for good runs. I avoid it.
Well, I'm talking longevity, Sean. I mean, you're always on leaderboards, but I do want to say this. As good as he is as a handicapper, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. For this business, forget it. He's like Mahatma Gandhi. But overall, he's one of the best people in the world. We're honored to have him at Sports Memo. Guys, I want you to know he's been a winner for decades. All right? He's going to tell you what he's been doing, what you can expect from him on the premium side, and he's got a free winner for you. Sean Higgs, take it away, kiddo.
Yeah, so a lot of college basketball from me. You know, I got a 3-pack up. I'll start with that for later on today. Losing day yesterday, as we said earlier. It is what it is, but we bounce back. That's what we do. That's how you last for a long time doing this. So early game, Duke, Georgia Tech. It's a noon start here. 12 and a 143.5, and there it is. I like the over, so go better right now before it moves. We saw yesterday Tech, what was it, 66-60, 2-9 from 3. They didn't really shoot a lot. Let's just go back and look at some of these games here from Tech beforehand. Duke took care of them, 82-56 back in December. All right, it was December. Duke is still a very good team. And when you first look at this, you're thinking, all right, it's an early game, little lackadaisical. There's no crowd, there's no juice, there's no excitement. I disagree with that. You know, against Miami, this team put up 89. Georgia Tech here, they put 87 against NC State. Again, not Duke, but they run it up. They beat Clemson. They beat Louisville. So they're not a bad team per se. They get up for good teams. Duke is the best team there is. And let's be honest, the line is 20 for a reason because Duke's going to come out here and probably put it to them. They don't go through the motions in Duke. They were winning Wake Forest. They beat 93-60, and they had North Carolina on deck to rival. They beat them by 33. The game before that, they won by 40. I mean, 35, 37, 24, 36, and 31 in the last 4 games. They're gonna just say, you know what, let's take it easy this morning. Hell no. They're gonna jump out to like a 50-29 lead here at the half. They'll get up 30, and who comes in? The second string guys whose family is going to be in attendance because they know this is a game they're going to get in. Duke's going to score 90 themselves. I need, 60? We need 60 from Georgia Tech. We're getting 60 from Georgia. Go over to 143.5. If you like Duke team total, 83.5. I took the over myself on just their team total as well, so a little double hit for you there. But this game over, I'd be shocked. The only way this doesn't go over is if Duke loses this game outright, and that is not happening. It's not 65-60 Georgia Tech. It is Duke 91-69-72. Over.
There you go. Our good buddy Sean Higgs says, take over. Duke, Georgia Tech. He's the winner. You will be too. Go over to Sports Memo. Go follow him. Do you got plays posted for the day yet, Sean?
I got a 3-pack up. So listen, I get in early, nighttime ahead of time. I had a Wednesday game posted on Monday for the tournament, so I definitely get ahead of the curve there. So I got a 3-pack up for night action. I think I have all day today. I think I have 6 games posted. Sometimes I'll add a little bit during the day. This time of year, it's all college basketball. I'm having a good college basketball season overall. I'll dabble in some ice. I did have a nice winner yesterday, but NBA and NHL definitely take a backseat to college basketball right now. And in another week and a half, they'll take a backseat to Major League Baseball because I'll be rolling out 7 to 10 games a day in baseball. So if you love baseball, I'm a volume guy. We'll be all right. Take the Cubbies. Cubbies next Thursday plus 145. There's a premium play for free for you.
There you go. By the way, if you love
right
winning,
we get that early on these games.
There you go. By the way, if you love winning, I love Sean. If you love winning, follow Sean. Go over to Sports Memo. Go follow him. Sean, you're always great. I did notice one thing I've never noticed before, and I always tune into a lot of your videos and whatnot. You have quite a few bottles of Johnny Walker over your shoulder.
Yes.
Is that your drink of preference?
I don't really drink. So I got the Johnny Walkers. So the one on top is the big Johnny Walker Blue. In the middle, it's a Johnny Walker Entourage because I'm an Entourage fan. You see, I got the Johnny Drama. So that is the Johnny Drama Entourage. And then there's a little baby Johnny Blue. I'd gone on a cruise and I got, Johnny Blues because they were cheap. So there was like two big Johnny Blues and a little Johnny Blue. It was like $95 in Antigua, where the hell I was in the Caribbean.
I'm a big Johnny
so
guy.
I brought one bottle down. Our good friend Tony K, he was down in AC at one of the fan caves. So I bought a bottle and they just drank the bottle. I tried to drink it. I'm like, this is terrible. My son,
I love that stuff. I love it. I've got every color. I know Johnny so well. I call him Jack. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you, I'm a big Johnny guy.
I got a bottle of this other clear bottle. It's called it's a Jersey Shore vodka. It's like Beach Badge vodka. It's got all the beach badges from the shore town. So,
all right.
I just put on. I need decorative, but I think the best one you love would be this, Joe. Would be your.
That's my Joe D'Amico mug. Holy shit!
I'm not a Redskin fan, but that's an old school Redskin helmet. It was my dad's. So I got to keep that out. So I'm a Cowboy guy.
He's got my mug. I love you. We love you, Sean. Sean's going to stick around. Jesse's going to stick around for a little bit. We got 3 more free play winners. Then we're going to run everything down, get some closing quotes and comments from everybody. I do want to speak to my good buddy Dan, the Professor Kaiser. Dan's been doing this for a long time, and he is one of the best. I will tell you that. He's not only one of the best, he is also a good friend to Dionne and myself and everybody out there. Dan's one of the most
last time I was videos with Dan, he was like out in the wilderness. He was like now he was like in, I don't know where he was. He was out in the right. You were like, it was a different house, or maybe it's just a different house.
Yeah, it was a different place. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if you were in Canada at the time. It was definitely woodsy.
If you remember, Dan was also a big television star back in the 70s. He starred as Grizzly Adams. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys that are old like me. Guys, Dan is great. He's doing some great things over at Sports Memo. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what you can expect from him on the premium side. And he's got a big free winner for you today. Dan, take it away, kiddo.
All right, thanks. And I make it easy. If it's got alcohol in it, I'll drink it. All right, so I'm going to the ice. College basketball did me in yesterday, so I'm going to go to the ice today. I'm looking at the total in the Rangers and Wild game. Both teams are coming off games that ended in 2-1 scores. The Rangers come in ranked 13th in goals per game and 10th in shots per game. They scored 3 or more goals in 6 of the last 9 games. They've struggled on the defensive end this season. They ranked 29th in shots against, which has led them to be ranked 20th in goals against. The Wild, they've been dealing with some injuries, so their offense hasn't been as potent as they would like. They rank both 24th in goals and shots per game. As I said, the Kaparov injury has really hurt them. They've scored 2 or fewer goals in 7 of the last 8. They've had to rely on their defense, which is 11th in goals against, despite being 26th in shots against per game. The Wild have gone under the total in 4 of the last 5 games. They put up 2.7.4 goals per game this season. but that's dropped to 1.33 goals per game in their last 3 games. The Rangers have given up 7 goals in their last 3 road games, while they've been averaging 3 goals a game this season. Over their last 3 games, they've only put up 2.33 goals. Like the Rangers, the Wild has given up 7 goals in their last 3 games. I look at it for one thing. The Wild have the top wild card spot at the moment. The Rangers are on the outside looking into the playoffs. Both teams need to keep getting as many points as they can. So I'm looking at this one to be more of a defensive type game. So I'm going to take the under in this one.
Dan Kaiser taking the under in the Rangers Wild. Dan is always doing good work. You see his name. I said yesterday, he should just crazy glue his name to the leaderboards over at SportsMemo. Dan, can you tell everybody what they can expect from you on the premium side, please?
Yeah, shortly I'll have 2 4% plays up in the NHL. 2 totals I really like. And I'm a glutton for punishment in college basketball. I've got a 3-pack of plays for the early games. I think the first game kicks off at noon or 1. And then I've got a 3-pack of evening games. So hopefully, we can win early and just keep rolling it over to the late games.
Great stuff by Dan Kaiser. Go over to Sports Memo right away. Or, wait after the show. We've got a couple more free plays. Dan's going to stick around as well. We've got the comments are open. So if anybody has a question or a comment, not pertaining to Dan being from Canada, or he'll drink anything as long as it has alcohol in it, I'm keeping away. I'm going to keep you away from my medicine cabinet, Dan. I love you when you come over. Bless your heart. But he's a winner. You will be too. Follow Dan. One more item. Across the bottom of your screen, you see a code. Use that code. All right, FF1. Any daily plays, anybody on this show this week, 75% off. You can't beat that with a bet. I'll tell you right now, this is a winning panel. Speaking of winners, I don't think anybody would dispute that she's the prettiest person on the panel by far. Even prettier than me, Jesse. Anyway, she's a winner. I do want to say something. We've been together 25 years, which I do have a letter into the Pope at the Vatican to get her canonized as saint. Anybody that takes me for 25 minutes deserves sainthood. 25 years this summer. But people ask us all the time, and there was a comment on Twitter the other day, do we know who we're playing, each other's games? Rarely do we know. We wake up in the morning. I'm up early. Like I said, I get up like Willard White, like people that cook meth. I'm up early. I get right to my office. The dogs follow me in here. Dionne goes right to making coffee. And then we do some numbers together, so we make sure one of us don't miss it because we're usually up at 1 a.m. And strange things happen at 1 a.m. But strange things happen. You miss things. But
you don't have to tell us everything, Joe.
Yeah.
Easy.
Somebody commented about me doing the kiss.
Those videos are on the hub, apparently.
But in between segments, we're making out like we're school kids in the balcony of a movie theater. Having said that, though, we rarely know who each other has for the day. Sometimes we're on the same games. I don't know if we're ever on opposite. I know once in a while we're on opposite sides. Very rarely. We have the same way of looking at games. We never know who we have. The other night, I had a loser.
Like I told you, if you want to know who I have, you can buy my place.
I don't like your attitude. You still didn't pay me for the Eagles tickets, by the way. The other night, I came off my first loser in weeks in NBA, and I looked at her and I said, fudge something. And she was grinning. I said, who'd you have? She told me Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart. So she comes in with some obscure stuff, but she's always on the leaderboards. She's doing great overall over at Sports Memo. She's got a lot of top 1, 2, 3 finishes over the years. She's been with Sports Memo and documented. She's going to tell you what she's been doing. She's going to tell you what you can expect from her on the premium side. She's got a free winner. Dionne D'Amico, take it away, kid.
Well, thank you very much. 2 things really quick that I'd like to say before I give out my free play. Number 1, it doesn't have to be a major conference for you to make money in it. And number 2, I have been very successful going against the general public. And having said all that, I watched the Mount St. Mary's Marist line go from +1 to +4.5 this morning. And I'm going to tell you, it's going in the wrong direction here. The Mountaineers, they have taken 4 of the last 5 meetings against the Red Foxes straight up, covering all 5 going back to January of 2023. This includes both matchups this season. They come in here covering 3 in a row, while their opponent, Marist, has not only dropped 4 in a row straight up, they have failed to cover 6 straight games. This time of year, I like to ride a hot team and fade a losing one. And remember, the general public loses most of the time. So take Mount St. Mary's here and win big.
The First Lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, says take Mount St. Mary's and win big. Follow her. Go to SportsMemo. Dionne, you got games posted for the day already?
Yeah. As you like to say, I did poop the bed yesterday. I only had one play yesterday, and I did also give it out as a free play on the show. But unfortunately, didn't quite do as good as I thought it was going to. But I do have 4 plays posted already over at SportsMemo. So go ahead and go on over there and use that code FF1 and get 75% off. It's a great time to do that. I still do have possibly maybe NHL or NBA coming up later today. Still kind of going over all those, so check back later on to see if I have more plays going up.
There we go. The First Lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico. You see her buzz link, sm.buzz/DA. Listen, ideal time. Use that code for Dionne, FF1. Go over there, 75% off daily plays. She's a winner. You know she's a winner? I got proof she married me, son of a gun. Look at that. All right, speaking of which, guys, I'm going to take over the floor for a minute, so lower the volume down because I am excited today. Guys, after a killer run in all sports, college basketball, pro basketball, and on pro hockey, I took one on the chin yesterday. But as a champion capper I am, I come back today with a vengeance. I redeem myself. I get everyone paid as I sweep the board. I got 3 big tournament winners going tonight, right? 3 big tournament winners. I got my Boogie East. My Big East. I'm really tongue-tied today. No more making up before the show. My Big East Bookie Buster, my SEC Smackdown, and my Mountain West Moneymaker. Get all 3 and be a big winner. But I'm going to hand you out a disclaimer right now, guys. If you're going to follow me today, I suggest you go over to Home Depot or Lowe's and grab a broom. So I'm sweeping the friggin' board today. I'm telling you that right now. I want to talk about my free winner today. I am excited about this game. You know, folks, as a resident of Vegas for over 35 years, not only do I know the Mountain West like the back of my hand, I know our very own UNLV squad even better. Trust me when I tell you this is way too many points to give this team playing in their own city, on their own home court, in front of their loyal fans. Yes, this game takes place at the T&M, the Thomas & Mack, and yet this team is getting way too many points. 12-5 at home this season, while Utah State are 7-4 on the road. These two teams split 2 matchups on the campaign, both played in January with a total of 8 points separating those two. The Rebels took the first meeting in mid-January at home, 65-62, then dropped the second matchup on the road, 76-71. However, and there's always a however, I like to say there's a but, and I love a big but. But, guys, and we're not here for fun. We're here to make money. They have covered 3 straight in this rivalry. The combined margin in the last 3 meetings between these two Mountain West rivals has been a total of 9 points. UNLV comes in here. They won 7 of the last 9 straight up, covered 5 of those 9, while Utah State, 6 of the last 10 straight up, only covered half of those games. Both teams possess good backcourts, and they match up pretty well. I'm not going to lie to you. They match up pretty well. But the Aggies store a little bit more, but that's not what this game is going to be about here, guys. Offensively, they're at a big disadvantage here. The Rebels' defense has played very well all season and lately have really tightened it up. I mean, they've gotten really tough lately. I think the line is way off. I think this game comes down to the last minute or so. Take the Rebels and the point. You will take your bookmaker's money. I do have 3 big winners over at SportsMemo. My Big East Bookie Buster, my SEC Smackdown, and another Mountain West game I really, really love. My Mountain West Moneymaker. Go over there. Go buy my plays. I promise you. But I am telling you, grab a broom because I'm sweeping the friggin' board today. No BS. Let's bring everybody on for a second. Hold on a minute. All right. We're going to run down the free plays. We're going to get some closing thoughts and comments. Before we do, anybody else? We've got a lot of comments today. Everybody loves our panel. Joe the Janitor. You got to love Jesse. We've got some new people. We got a gentleman named Anthony. You know, I recognize a lot of the names here. Got a guy named Anthony. Anthony, welcome, buddy. You're always welcome here. If you got a question for our panel, they always stick around. I know we've been long-winded, even more than usual for me yesterday and today, but we're happy to be back. There's a lot of content to cover the first few days. We want to make sure you guys know we're going to come at you every weekday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have a rotating panel of all those documented winning cappers over at SportsMemo. We've got that discount code on the bottom. We're going to run down the free plays in a minute, but first, closing thoughts and comments from the panel. Sean, anything you want to add?
No, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on for day 2 of the rebooted channel here. So Let's go. Let's have a day and make some money on a Thursday.
Well, we're honored to have you here. Jesse, he's almost like me. I mean, I'm better looking and stuff. He's got better hair. But he's charming and charismatic. He's always got something to chime in with, and I love that. I hang on the edge of my seat when Jesse's around. Jesse, what do you got? Closing thoughts and comments before we run down free plays.
I guess that's why you guys have me on the panel, because somebody's got to have better hair. And it's not much competition on this panel. But no, it's good to see Sean again. I'm looking forward to doing more shows. We got to continue to talk about 80s movies and conspiracy theories if Joe will allow it. But yeah, I'm coming off of a tough day yesterday. Like I said, the last time that happened, I swept the following day. I'm certainly not lacking in confidence or skill or a history of getting the job done. So invest with confidence. That's all I got to say.
You do have good hair, Jesse. All right, I'll give you that. But I told you yesterday, I told you before, God is a fair God. He wants to level the playing field. He wanted to take my hair because I'm so darn good looking. That's all. He just wanted to make you guys that aren't as good looking me feel a little bit more confident. He gave you there. Guys, Jesse,
so you trying to say that Sean and Dan are sinners or what?
Oh, absolutely we are. I do want to say something, Jesse, touchdown real quick before we go to Dan's closing comment. Then we're going to run down all the free plays real quick. Integrity. Integrity in this world is a very rare thing, let alone in this business. All right. I know guys that are in this business, and because of the explosion and eruption of social media, hey, guys, I want 8 straight. I want this. Losing day, you don't hear about them. They're like somebody that owes you money. You won't see them for weeks. Okay. When somebody talks about their off days, and that shows integrity. And that's what you get over here at Sports Memo. You get a lot of integrity, guys. Guys, we don't like losers. And like I said, everybody on this panel, I know personally, bets their own game. So on good days, they're twice as happy. We made money, and you're going to follow us tomorrow. On bad days, we're twice as pissed off because we lost money, and we lost for you. And I'll tell you what, I do know the people on this panel, and we take a lot of pride in the fact that you guys put your hard-earned money in and trust us. So I want you to know on bad days, Jesse, you always show a lot of integrity. I mean, we always like to have fun, but you are somebody that overall in this world has integrity. But in this business, it's a rare thing, and you're one of the rare guys. Dan, the Professor Kaiser, closing comments.
Now, first, I think my dog has PTSD from my losing days, but that's that later. I just want to let everybody know that another new member of the Sports Memo team, Tom McCrenna, or a lot of people know him as Right Cape. We've been doing a NASCAR report show for the last 4 years. That's moved now to the Sports Memo Network. We recorded on Friday nights. I think it's airing now on Saturdays, and he gives out his plays and best thoughts on the upcoming NASCAR race. So check that out.
Gotta love my buddy Dan the Man Kaiser, Dan the Professor Kaiser. Real quick, I'm going to run down the games. Dionne's got an announcement, and then we're going to be out of here. Jesse, Schule has Villanova UConn under 134.5. Sean Higgs, Duke, Georgia Tech over 143.5. Dan the Professor, go to the NHL, Rangers, Wilders under 5.5. Dionne, the First Lady of Vegas, has Mount St. Mary's plus 4.5. And yours truly, your very quiet and humble host, has UNLV plus 8. Dionne, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so also make sure to follow all of our guests on their social media pages and their websites, as well as myself and Joey. And make sure to tune in to all of the First Family shows for a ton of free winners, some great betting insights, and a few laughs. And on behalf of Jesse, Sean, Dan, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
One more item, guys. Go over to Sports Memo right now. Don't wait till later. Get it right now. 75% off any daily package any of the First Family show gets this week. All you got to do, use the code FF1 upon checkout. Now, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another great show. And everybody out there, I want to wish you good luck and have a winning day.